Now that we have our carburetor off, first thing we need to do is find out what model it is. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. And we do this by turning it on the side of the carb. In our case, the model number is Series WT Model 454. Now that we know the model number of our carburetor, we can head over to WALBRO.com and click on the Parts and Service link. On the bottom of the page is a list of manufacturers. In my case, I click on Ryobi, then Trimmer, then click on the link for WT454. I can see I have two choices, D10 watt for just the gasket and diaphragm, or a full rebuild K10 watt. Since I'm already in there, I just get the K10 and just do a full rebuild. We're going to start first by removing the high and low jets. As you can see, the screws with the black cover is the high, and the white cover here is the low jet. You can see it's marked right here on the side right here, H and an L. First off, we're going to take off this outer plastic cover here. It just pulls straight off. Take that off and we'll just set that to the side. Now, next, take note how the black and the white plastic covers, both of them are pointed straight up and down. The white has a flare on the bottom and the black has a flare on the top. In order to get these off, we just take some needle nose pliers and we're just going to pull them straight off. You want to make sure to take off the white one first, as it's higher than the black one. So you just grab it, gently pull, don't squeeze too hard, it'll just come right off. Alright, we'll set that there, and then same with the black one. Alright, now that those are off, we're just going to take those both and set those to the side. Alright, next thing we want to take note of is the orientation in which the jet screws are going. Both of these are in like a 45-degree angle. The goal is to get them back in the same position when we're done. First, we want to take the screws and tighten them all the way in so as to find out how far the screw goes in, so that after we clean them, we can put them in, tighten them all the way down, and then unscrew them and come back to the same position. Alright, we'll start with the low one first. Put the screwdriver in the slot. We'll tighten it. We'll go half turn, full turn, half turn. Now it's tight. So now we know the low one goes a turn and a half. We'll start with the high jet. Half turn, full turn, half turn. Now it's tight also. So both of them are the same. We can easily just take them out now. So we'll just go ahead and unscrew them, taking out my low jet first, taking it all the way out. Setting that there. I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it to the left side over here. Same now, I'm going to take off the high jet. Take it all the way off. There we go. Getting there, all the way unscrewed. Right there. Setting that to the side. Now that those are both off, I'm going to set this to the right side with all my other parts. Go ahead and zoom out. Now I have my high and low jets are off. I've put in my high jet on this side and my low jet on that side. Alright, to the next step. Now that we have those jets off, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what those look like. I'll go ahead and zoom in here. This is the low jet. It's got a smaller spring than the high jet. I'll set that right there. Here's the high jet. If you notice, has a larger, more thicker spring than the low side. Take that, put that back on. Set those to the side to be cleaned later. Alright, next we're going to remove the base plate on the bottom, which has a vent hole for the metering diaphragm. We're going to take this off. We'll have to remember that vent hole right here is on the left-hand side. You can see it right there. Get it back in the same position. Alright, take these screws off. We'll make a pile that everything comes off. Keep everything in the same order so that it'll make reassembly easier later when we put it all back together. Alright, we'll take these off here. Maybe if we unscrew them all the way. There we go. Alright, we'll just take these off and set them over here. There we go. Get this base plate off here. Alright, we'll take that. Set it right there. We're going to peel off the metering diaphragm first. That's this one right here. That corner might be a little sticking. There we go. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we have our metering diaphragm. Take that, set that to the side. We'll peel off the gasket here. Don't worry if it breaks or anything. We have new ones. Alright, got that off there. A little bit of debris we'll have to clean up later. Next, right here is our pin that controls the fuel coming in. We're going to put our finger on here because there's a spring underneath. We'll just take this screw completely out. Take it all the way out. Set that there to the side. Be careful when you lift up. The spring wants to come out. Lift straight up. We have our pin and lever right there. Right here is our spring. Take that out, set it right there. One thing you want to be careful of inside the kit, it does not have a new spring, so we don't want to lose this spring right here. Yeah, this side is all done. We have a little bit of debris here, so we'll make sure to clean that up when we get to the cleaning phase. We'll just set this stuff here to the side, and we'll get to pulling off the other side. All right, next we're going to be removing the fuel pump cover. Here it says WALBRO right here. Underneath this is our reed valves and another gasket. We'll just hold this down here. All unscrew this. Just a single screw. Take that all the way out. There we go. We'll make a separate pile for this over here on the left. Alright, when we pull this cover off, this lever right here may be in the way. Just kind of slide it to the side and we'll kind of wedge this off. Here we go. It's coming off nice and easy. Set that there. Right here, see our reed valves. I'll peel that off. There we go. We'll set that right there, followed by another gasket. Gasket's stuck on there pretty good. There we go. Came off in one piece. Got it right there. All right, here's our cover here. We'll go ahead and zoom in so you can see this. All right, got our cover here, gasket, and our reed valves. When you put the new one on, you can see that there's holes right here on the cover. So it only goes on one way. If you try to put it on the wrong way, it's not gonna go. You just want to make sure that when you put it back on, this is flat against this surface here. All right. Now, you can see in here, obviously, I had a big problem with this fuel filter right here being really clogged. There's a lot of debris inside there. So let me take a pick here. I have a new one in the kit, so we're just gonna grab this. You can see, look at all this debris. Obviously, this was part of the problem. Why it wasn't running so much. Look at all the debris right there coming off. We'll just kind of keep scraping and get this whole filter to come all the way out. There we go. Coming all the way out. There we go. All right. Now, one thing you'll notice, if I pick it up, that if I take something white and put it underneath, let me just rip off a little piece of paper. I'm going to take this, put this here. You should be able to see straight through the hole right there, all the way through to the other side. When I go like that, you can see the white paper now. That's where your pin sits. You want to make sure it has a nice clear opening all the way. All right, now you can tell that this filter was very, very dirty, making it very difficult to run. A lot of debris right here. All right, so next step, everything is off. All we got to do is clean it and get it ready for reassembly. All right, next part, we're going to clean off the carburetor. I put on some gloves so I don't get any of the spray on me. We're going to make sure to spray all the holes, make sure everything's nice and clear, nice and clean. We're also going to make sure to do the base plate and the fuel pump plate. We'll get all that going. Just got our can here. Going to just spray it in each hole. It's going to come out. Yeah. Just get this going each hole. As you spray it, just be aware it's going to come out those holes. Yeah. Spray in here. Now, inside here, when you do the butterfly here, there are some holes. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. As you can see, we'll spray this on the inside here. We'll get those all nice and clear. There we go. Spray this side here. Alright, spray it in from that side. There we go. Alright, you'll notice that there are still some debris here. Just kind of take your fingers and scrub it. Use my nail here, just kind of getting everything all nice and clean. If need be, you could always use like an old toothbrush, something like that. Not something too abrasive. We don't want to scratch any of this here. We want to be able to put our new stuff back on and have it all sit nice and flush and everything. Yeah, everything's been blown out. You also want to blow it in these holes here. Yeah. The other side. Yeah, just giving it a nice good coating here. You see everything going nice and good. Just keep working on this, getting it all cleared off. The outside really isn't too important, but you know, since I have the unit off, you know, doesn't hurt to clean other things also. Just giving it a nice good wash right here. Alright, there we go. Just kind of let that sit for right now. We'll spray our plate here. Just giving it a nice good rubbing. Get the old gasket off of it so that when we put the new one, it sits on there. Makes a good seal. Grab the base plate here, spray that. That one wasn't too bad on the other side, but once everything's off, you might as well spray it and clean it. Already ripped through the glove, no big deal. Alright, everything's good. Just gonna blow everything off here in a second and get ready to reassemble. I let the carb sit a little bit, you know, give it a nice good spraying. I decided to get an old toothbrush here and just kind of gently go over it here, get all that debris that was in there. Nice little scrubbing. You know, I hit all the edges. Just kind of get in there. Alright. Get all those surfaces real well. Just want to make sure to get off the gasket, you know, that was on there. Just find an old toothbrush that you don't want anymore. Outer part really doesn't matter, but might as well clean. Also want to make sure spray in where the jet holes were. Just kind of put your fingers over it so that, watch out where it comes back out. Alright, got all that going. Everything looks all good now. I have a can of compressed air. Just going to blow out the holes. Everything's all cleaned off here. As you notice, as I did that, the screen went flying, you know, so be aware of certain things. You know, we don't want to lose certain items here. Lost it again. There. Alright. That, set it back right there. Alright, everything's cleared off, cleaned, and is ready to be reassembled. Alright, I forgot one step. I forgot to clean the high and low jet pins. I'm just going to take this, move this over to the side right here. I'll grab my low jet here. Set that right there. Give it a little spray of cleaner. We'll go ahead and zoom down. Alright. I have my brush here. I just take the spring off. I'll just give this just a little cleaning here. Trying to get it all nice and clean. Spring doesn't matter much, but why not just clean that? Alright, I'll just take a towel here, wipe that off. Got this all clean. Alright, that one's good. I'm going to set that right there. That's my low jet. This is my high here. Grab a little bit of cleaner. Spray that. Grab my brush. Take this off. Just kind of getting the debris off here. Get my spraying. This is my high jet. Alright. You can see here. There's my high and low. Got my low jet right here and my high jet right here. You can tell by the two that the threads are not the same. They don't go in the same distance, so they're definitely different pins, so you just want to be aware of that, which is why we kept them apart. Also too, you can see the thickness of this one is a lot thicker than this one here, so it it wouldn't even thread in. Yeah, you can feel everything's nice and good. All right, now that that's clean, we can get ready to reassemble everything. All right, it's time to start putting this thing back together. We're going to start by the high and low jet. We'll grab it here. You can see. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. Got everything nice and clean. You can see right here is the low side, and here is the high side. We're going to take the low jet, put that one back in first. Let's take it, thread it by hand, nice and easy. Go. As we're tightening it, we're going very easy, trying to get it all the way to the bottom. All right, we're all the way at the bottom right now. If you remember, we need to come out 1.5 turns. So, half turn, full turn, 1.5, and we ended back on the 45 that we started with. Now we'll start with the high side jet. Put that back in, get that going. Take that, nice and easy, screwing it all the way back down to the bottom, getting close. All right, there we are there. So half turn, full turn, 1.5, ending on the 45 just like before. All right, we're going to go ahead and do it in reverse order. We're going to take our black cap here with the flared side up, lining it straight up and down like we had before, this way. We're going to push that straight down, back onto there. Now we're going to do the same thing with the white, but the flared side this time is going to go down towards the bottom, just like so. And we'll push that back on. Kind of getting it going. A little tight. There we go. Alright, what these do is they keep them from spinning so that it doesn't get out of alignment while it's running. Then we put our last piece back on, and high and low jets are done. We're good for now. Now we'll move on to the next step. Alright, the next step is to take my carburetor repair kit. I'm going to dump it out right here. Alright. Don't need that little piece. I'll set that to the side. Alright. You can see here. We got the WALBRO K10 watt repair kit. Got it off of Amazon. It's not an official WALBRO one, but same pieces. Alright, let me scroll back. Alright. Right here, got metering diaphragm right there. Now we need to find the same piece because we're going to have extra pieces here. No big deal. Alright. Here's the same washer. as that one there. Let's set that right there, right next to the old one. You can see it. We have a new pin, a new lever, the new rod that goes through the lever, and that's everything we need for this side of the carb. On the other side, our reed valves are right here, and we need this gasket here. So I have two. This one has a little round one on the end, same as that one right there. So that one's going to go right there. All right, this is our screen. We're going to be using that piece. All of these extra pieces are extra for different carburetors and whatnot. We're not going to be needing those, so we could take those and put them back in the bag, get them out of the way for right now. All right, those are all good. This is all the pieces we need right now. Now I'm just going to take the old stuff, move them to the sides. Don't need these for now, so I'm going to keep those off. As you can see here, this one was quite worn. You know, it's pretty old, you know, compared to the new one. Nice and fresh and rubbery. You know, this diaphragm is going to work much better. This one lost its shape and everything. So here's the new one. Take the old one, move that off screen over here. All right, here's our old pin. Right now we just want to compare to make sure the two pins are the same, making sure that everything is the same right up here. All right, so we'll take the old one, move that off. Here's the old lever right here. We're going to take that, move that off. All right, these are all the new parts. They are ready to be reassembled. Next, we're going to take our needle lever, and spring and place it back into the carb. Go ahead and zoom in here so you can get a better shot. We're going to take our spring and just set it right in this holder right there. So we'll grab our spring, set it right in there, just so it stays in place. You kind of push it down if need be. There you go. All right, let the carb just sit there. We'll take our needle and needle lever, place it on the end of the fork. Grab some needle nose pliers, grab it on the edge right there. The needle lever has a little dimple on the bottom that we want to catch the spring. So we're going to take this and drop it into the carb nice and easy with our fingers in the back. The spring to move forward. If need be, take something and just gently push the spring back underneath until you have it in place. Then take your screw, set your screw back in place, and just gently screw it in. Don't need to go real tight at first. Want to make sure that the needle and spring are set in place and it's all working. Testing the lever. You can see the spring is working. Everything's nice and loose in here and everything's not tight. Works underneath the needle and it's springing up just perfectly. So now we can just tighten this up a little bit. Just give it a little snug. Retest. Make sure it's still springing. Everything's good. All right, moving on. Next, we're going to take and put our base plate, our meeting diaphragm, and our gasket back on. We want to take the gasket first, align the two holes on the top with the carburetor. Then we're going to take our meeting diaphragm, going to put the metal side down, like so, and just align it into place. Then we have our base plate. We're going to take this, the vent hole to the left, just like when we took it off, and just gently set it down there. Take our screws, put it in nice and easy. We're just slowly getting it on there, nothing snug. Just getting everything aligned. There we go. Nothing's tight yet. We're just screwing it in here. And we'll just tighten these up. Put a snug turn. All right, this side is done. All right, next we're going to take and put the new fuel filter in right here. You can see the old one. Let me go ahead and zoom down for you so you can see this. Was very clogged. When we took it apart, you've seen all the debris that was in there. It was very bad. So that was probably a lot of the problems. Here's the new one. We're just going to take that one. We'll move this to the side. Grab the new one and just set it over the hole like so, and just gently push it down so it starts to go down. It's flared out a little bit, so it's going to be a nice snug fit. What I'm taking here is just extension screwdriver thing. I'm going to use the back side to just gently push it down like so onto the inside. Don't want to push too hard. You should be able to see right in there. It's all the way to the bottom. You know, I'm kind of going around in a circle, kind of making sure that it's all in there nice and good. All right, that part is done. Set that down. All right, we'll go on to the next step. All right, our last step here is to put the reed valves and the gasket back on the carburetor. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in so you can get a better shot here. Easiest way to do that is to take your cover. Has two pins right there. There's only one way the gasket can go on. Put your gasket on first on the outside. The reed valves need to be against the carburetor here. So then we take your reed valves, set them gently on so that they're on both of the pins. The easiest way to do is keep this upside down. Move this lever just a little bit so that it doesn't get hot. If you go too far, this part will hit right here. So go ahead and just move it just a little bit. Turn it upside down. And just drop it right into place, and then you can let it go. Everything looks nice and good. We just take our screw, set it right back in the middle. Grab our screwdriver and just tighten it down. Just kind of get it just a little snug. There we go. Everything's nice and good. Then, now that it's in, just tighten it just nice and tight. All right, our carburetor is all the way rebuilt. Everything is good to go. All new parts, nice and clean. Just need to put it back on the weed eater and give it a run. Now that the carburetor is all back together, I'll show you what some of the older parts looked like. All right, let me go ahead and zoom in here. I'll bring them in so you can see them. This was the old gasket. This side actually looked fine. It came off all right. Here's our old reed valves. They got a little bit of dimpling. It's definitely time to replace. You can see it's got a lot of wear on it. Our screen, for sure, this one was very dirty. When I put it on a piece of paper, you could really see how dirty that thing was. We had on the other side, we have our gasket. Very difficult to get off. It was sticking a lot. Had to peel it off. Get that all out of there. That one was tough. But our metering diaphragm was definitely very, very stiff. Was not doing well. Sure, that was part of the problem right there. Our pin actually looked fine. Our needle lever, that part actually looked fine, but since you have the kit, you might as well just replace it all. Just got to be real careful with that spring when you put it back in. All right. Look forward to the video showing it back on the weed eater, and look forward to getting it going again. All right, we're working on my Ryobi 725R 31cc string trimmer. I rebuilt my WALBRO Carburetor WT454. While I was at it, I got a new gasket for the crankcase cover, and I got a new gasket for the carburetor. Alright, the new crankcase gasket has a hole right here where the throttle line is going to be going through. This only goes on one way. Take that, place it on the side over here. Alright, then you pick that up. We're going to be taking this and running the throttle line right here through the hole and placing it so that it goes through that inner hole. There we go. All right, there are 4 screws that hold this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just take the screws, place them in like that. Slowly start tightening it. Starting with the other ones. kind of get it snug. Repeat for each one. This holds your crankcase covered gasket in place. Alright, we're just kind of getting it all snugged up here. If you're going to rebuild the carburetor, might as well do all of them. I put new fuel lines on also, giving it a complete tune-up here. The problem that was happening before was you'd start it up and then it would die. Alright, now that those are all tight, we'll move on to the next step and put our carburetor and carburetor gasket on. Zoom in here. It's kind of dark. We'll lighten it up a little bit. So you can see. There we go. Alright. Now that we got those all in and tight, we're good to go. We'll work on the next part. Alright, next we're going to put our carburetor gasket on. There are two holes right here and there. They go on those two pins. Go ahead and just take that. Gently push it on. Push it on the bottom. Just want to be real gentle. There we go. Got it all sitting nice and flat. Next, we're going to take our carburetor. Got a WALBRO here. WALBRO WT454. Might be able to see the model numbers a little bit there. Alright. Your throttle line's right here. It's going to go through the hole right here. So you want to make sure to loosen that screw up. And then just take it and turn it. Get it to feed through the back, like so. Alright, then you just kind of push it as you let the carb go right there. Then we want to take this here with the screws. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit so you can see. Alright. This is our choke plate here. These go in the up position. So you just want to take these and put them through each hole of the carburetor, like so. And then slowly just lift the carburetor up into position till those screws are starting to thread into the machine. Alright, same with the bottom one. Alright. totally screwing it, we could lift this back up into position. As we're getting closer and closer to tight, just making sure everything's lined up correctly, throttle line where it needs to be. Move this up. There we go. There we go, getting that pushed back where it belongs. Just slowly tightening it up. Alright, now that we got it snug, we'll tighten it up the rest of the way. Alright, got the plate on there. Now we'll just take this screw here, tighten it down so that the cable is now tight. So now when you pull throttle cable, now we have throttle. Alright, everything's on there. All we got to do is attach the fuel lines. Alright, now all we're doing is attaching the fuel lines. The top one's going to go on the inside, right there. So we'll just take that and bend it over and around. Take some needle nose pliers, get it into place. Be gentle, we don't want to pinch the line or anything. There we go. Push it all the way down. Alright, that fuel line is taken care of. We'll just turn this on its side here so you can see where the other one is. Zoom in a little bit here. There you go, you can see the other one's right down here on the bottom. Take your needle nose pliers, bend it. Get it all pushed on there. Got a different pair if you need be. A little stiffer, there we go. Alright, that fuel line is all the way in. We're all good to go. Let's zoom back out. Alright. Now all we're going to do is put on the last plate. This one goes on. You want it to line up over on the right. Like so. Alright. Somehow during the process it must have gotten bent. Just had to unbend it so that you could reach it again. No problem. All fixed. There we go. Take our two screws, put them in. Screw on the other side. All right, there you have it. Everything's all hooked up. All we need to do is put some fuel in it and test it out. All right, we're just going to put some fuel in this thing, test it out. All right, that's good enough for now. We're going to hit the primer bulb. You can hear it priming. Here's getting pushed back into the tub. Now, fuel just filled the bulb. You can see, let me zoom down in here. The bulb is halfway full. Now it's all the way full. It's all the way primed. It's all good to go. Just got to put the fuel cap on and give it a go. All right, well, that's it. Everything is back together. We have fuel, we have it primed. We have the carb all back on, all new gaskets. All we got to do is fire it up and see how it runs. Let's see how this works. Turn it to on. All right. There we go. Everything is working back just like it used to. Hope this helps someone and try it yourself. It's nice and easy.